Welcome back to another video, y'all. I am on the path to a creek today. I am, as I was in the last video, I was in the Homachetta National Forest. I'm back there again today, just a different location. As you can see, they've been doing a lot of, I guess, control burns here. I think it's kind of cool. Some people may think it's just looks horrible, but I think it's kind of cool because all these dark colors, the bottoms of the trees have been burned, just kind of give some contrast to all the greenery in the background. So to some people it may look ugly. I kind of think it's cool. Stinks though, and you can't touch it because it will stain your clothes. I've already got stains on my backpack, black streaks where I set my bag down on something that was burnt or had been burned. So anyway, so the plan today, something a little different. I've never done this before, at least for a video. I've got my car parked not even, maybe 100 yards right up the road, not far. This was a part of Caston Creek Wildlife Management Area. The road went several miles off of the highway into the woods, but then there was a metal gate and I couldn't go any further, so I had to park. We're going to walk the rest of the way. Now where I'm going is there's a small creek that branches off of the Homachetta River, and it's called Middleton Creek. I pronounced it wrong earlier. I was talking to my wife about where I was going. I called it Middle Fork Creek, but it's Middleton Creek. And today I would, instead of running through the woods crazy and frantically searching for that perfect, glowing tree or perfect composition, I thought I would just do some walking along the banks of this creek and see if there's any kind of interesting little compositions I can find, something different, something unique, maybe some, I really have no idea what to expect. I just want to do something different than walking through the woods like I typically do. Although I will say, coming in here, I saw some pretty cool trees off in the distance. And I tell you what, if the creek thing don't work out for me, I may go back and get lost in the woods like I typically do, or not lost. I may go back and get stuck in the woods, wandering around like I always do, trying to find some cool backlit trees or something. Because it's been a solid month since I did my last video. I think it was March. I said it was the 13th, but it was the 14th on that video, and now it's April 14th. So it's been a whole month since I've been able to get out. It's just been so busy with typical things in life, so life's been busy. So I've got an opportunity to get out, and I'm going to take advantage of it. So like I was saying, hopefully we'll find some compositions at this creek, something unique, something different than I normally do. If not, that's okay too. Now the forecast called for basically sunny skies all day, with a little bit of cloud coverage between 10 and 12. It has been nothing but cloudy all morning. Fog this morning. I slept in a little bit, and I should have got out because it was foggy. It would have been beautiful in the woods, but I missed it because I was lazy. So, per usual. But anyway, we'll head on down the trail here, and this trail actually dead ends, according to Google Maps and Google Earth. It dead ends, and I still have to go another maybe 100 or 200 yards through the woods to get to this creek. So, just hoping I actually find it. And we just got a huge storm a few days ago, so the water may be up. I don't even know if I can cross the creek depending on where it comes out at. I'll just have to go in and out of the woods to get to different parts of the creek that I want to go to, I guess. We'll see. I started to bring my muck boots so I could cross the creek if I needed to without getting my pants wet or my shoes or whatever. But if it comes down to that, since it is kind of warm, it's in the 70s, I think it's going to be a high of 80 today. I'm not even worried about it. I'll just take my shoes, socks off, roll up my pants, and walk on through. So let's go see what we can get into today. If you can see it, sun's trying to come out. Got a little bit of blue skies coming out too, so that's good. Man, look how pretty the woods are here. Just glowing this just pretty green color. Looks like a big ditch. I couldn't see this on the map on Google Maps because I guess it was just such a small little creek or something, but we'll try to go around it and press on because this is not the creek that I'm going to be walking down and photographing. But anyway, let's go check it out. Big culvert with some deep water, and there's the creek just kind of flowing along. Well, I don't see any footprints, so I guess I'm the only one crazy enough to go back here. So look, this is where the trail, it comes up here, and I guess I don't know that. I can't see the purpose of a culvert without having something to go over it. So I'm assuming at one point in time, this was either dirt, all dirt, so you could cross over that, or if they had some kind of makeshift little wooden bridge. I don't know, for trucks to cross. You can tell it's been there for a long time. It's just, God, look at that culvert. It is just, that is rough looking. Definitely been there a long time. So, all right, I'm gonna try to get down here and I'll try to bring you back maybe when I go over to the other side. Oh wait. That was so much harder than it looked. I sank. You may be able to see my footprints over there. I just sank about a foot in. It was very soft ground, so that was difficult getting up. Maybe because I'm just fat, old, and out of shape. But headed up here, see what's at the top. Oh man. Okay. Well, I'll turn the camera around, let you see what I just bypassed. You can see there, it is, like I said, that, oh, let me get over here. That culvert has got to be, I don't know how old, very old. You can see where it used to be, where it used to go through here. And creek runs on down there, and here's where I was. Here's where I came from. You can see just there the trail coming down that ridge and crossed or stopped right there. So anyway, enough about that little creek. Let's move on. I love springtime, but it also brings out every critter, every bug, mosquito, spider, snake, anything and everything that I don't like. So I soaked myself with off before I got in here, so I really hope that helps. the box stand. Well, we've made it out to, let me fix this camera just a little bit. I have to change angles every time I do anything and rotate my screen. We are now at the pipeline, and this is the last little obstacle before we get to the creek. So I came out there, just there, and now got to travel way down there. I'm not sure I'm pointing right. There we go. Way down there. That's the creek. Funny thing is, it's not funny, but it kind of is. I could have parked on the side of a road and literally walked maybe 100 yards, and I would have been at the creek where I wanted to be. The only reason I didn't, it's basically, I would have to cross over private property to do that, so I didn't want to leave. Not only did I didn't want to, go over somebody else's property, walk through somebody else's property, but I didn't want to leave my car on the side of the road for this long period of time throughout the day. So instead of doing it the easy way, I had to go all the way around a forestry road and get out and walk and cross that crazy ditch, little creek back there, little stream, and now go through down this pipeline to get to the creek. So I hope it's worth it. I really do, because even though it's only about 72, 73 degrees right now, I'm sweating pretty good. So let's keep walking and see what we can find. There's the sun. Although I'm thankful for it, it is going to warm things up a good bit. I just want y'all to listen. The smells in the air. I smell honeysuckle and something else. I'm not sure what it is, but just the smells are amazing out here. The smells of spring, and just listen to the birds. This is not me like putting bird audio over this scene. Just listen to the wildlife. Said this before on videos in the past, but if you got any stress going on in your life, and Lord knows we all do, just get out and doing stuff like this, getting into nature. It's not going to fully get rid of stress, but it will definitely help with it. So peaceful and relaxing. This is probably what I'm smelling. If y'all know what this is, leave a comment. I don't know what kind of vegetation this is, what kind of plant. It's got these little white blooms all over it. That's got to be what I'm smelling, because it smells so good, and it's strong right here when I get close to it. I think this creek was just a little bit further than I thought it would be. Well, y'all, I hear running water. It's quite loud. So I think we've finally made it. See if you can hear it. Let me turn the camera around, see if you can hear that noise. Oh yeah, that's without a doubt the creek that I'm looking for. All right, we have made it. Oh, is that pretty or what? Look at that little. Now there's rocks, obviously put here by man. I'm not sure how much of that's actually a natural, but hey, it made a waterfall. Sounds so peaceful. That, if I wasn't so freakishly afraid of deep water that I cannot see up underneath, if I wasn't so afraid of that, which is why I don't go to the ocean, I would definitely take my clothes off and go swim in that. There's got to be fish in there. I just saw something, a big wake shoot across over there. So it was either a fish, wasn't a turtle. I doubt there's an alligator in there, so probably just a big fish. Something told me to bring some fishing line and some bait and a hook or two, just for the heck of it, just to see if I could catch something. And I totally forgot to do it, so I don't know. If I enjoy this place, I may come back and do something like that, do something a little different than photography. But now I've got to find a way to get down there. And I'm definitely not the only human that's been here. You can see footprints right there. See deer prints, dog prints, or coyote prints, and human footprints. So, whew, let's go explore. So I said there's a good chance that I would have to take my shoes off and socks off and get in the water just to cross the creek. Well, I haven't been but a few feet from where I started, and already there's no way I'm crossing this creek with these shoes on. So I'm having to just I'm not a pro at this, but I know I can make a little knot like that and they can just hang from the bag and I can get on with the adventure. That water is freezing. Even if I wanted to get in that water, there's no way. It's so cold. All right, so I'm gonna get this bag on that weighs way too much, especially now with shoes on it. And we'll see what we can find. Whew, I gotta be careful with my camera gear because there's gonna be sand everywhere. Ooh, it's so cold. Yeah. My tender little feet. Oh, these rocks hurt. As a kid, I could do this with no problem. Probably step on glass and be fine, but now, if it ain't soft grass, it hurts. Tell you what, this is a beautiful place to camp. Bring you a tent or even just a hammock and just camp overnight, as long as the bugs aren't horrible. But if you ever did, there's this stretch right here, stretch of birch trees that would be absolutely perfect for starting a fire. As you can see, all this, the bark of the tree peels right off, and that will ignite instantly and burn pretty good. So just a little tidbit if you didn't know that. Birch tree bark, awesome way to start a fire. I have been walking, I would say close to maybe a half a mile by now. And I've found a few things that possible, these bugs are all on my camera, possible compositions. Doing this type of photography, when you're in this type of setting in a creek, you gotta kind of think outside of the box. You gotta think abstract, because you're not gonna typically, not in this state anyway, you're not gonna have any beautiful waterfalls, you know, to make as the main focal point of the subject, of the scene. You're not gonna have anything that just stands out like, wow, that's a picture. So you gotta kind of, oh, that wind feels good. You gotta kind of look, like I said, outside the box at little patterns or anything that just looks different, I guess. Because if I turn the camera around and show you, I mean, that's, although it's peaceful looking and it's pretty, but it's not really necessarily going to make a good picture. So yeah, I'm having a little struggle of finding something that I think that I would like and then you would like also as a photo. So but I've only been here maybe an hour, so I've still got plenty of time. I'm going to keep looking around and see what I can find. Surely there are some photographs to be had at this location. So keep them moving. Oh. Wow. That is not light. Holy moly. Well, I'm not sure how far I've gone now. I've done gone around so many bends in the creek. But my back is killing me. Oh. And I gotta take a break, drink a little water, and eat something. And my wife and I have been on a diet for, well, we're on our second week starting today. It's Monday. And I think we both lost about 7 pounds the first week. So we're gonna keep it up. So I say that because my lunch is nothing more than chicken salad with mayonnaise. Well, my own chicken salad. I just put mayonnaise in it. Lots of pepper, because I love pepper. And some fruit, or I say fruit, like the little packages you get with the mixed nuts in it and cranberries and stuff. So that will be my lunch. I'm going to sit here and enjoy this, as simple as it is, and just listen to nature. You can probably hear the creek in the background. Oh, these bugs are relentless. But yeah, the birds are still chirping. The sounds of the creek are very soothing. It's just a beautiful day. Beautiful day to be outside. I'll tell you what, I haven't found anything to photograph just yet. I've got a few things that's like a maybe, but I haven't really found anything for sure yet. In the beginning of the video, I was just searching around. Immediately, as soon as I got in the water, just looking constantly for things to photograph. And as I kept walking, 100 yards, 200 yards, 300 yards, I kind of noticed myself just getting stressed out, feeling like I wasn't going to be able to find anything that's worth taking a picture of. So I've kind of just talked myself out of stressing and worrying about it, and I'm just going to relax and enjoy the day. And if I find a photograph, if I find something to photograph, then great. And if I don't, well, I've had a beautiful day in nature and explored an area that I've never been to, never seen before. Anyway, enough talking. I'm gonna finish eating this, relax a little bit, and then I'll keep heading down the creek that way. And I'm not sure how far up the creek I am, but I know if I keep going that way, I'll run into the Homachita River. And that's not my goal, but if I do go that far, I'll just turn around and come back and kind of see things from a different angle on the way back. So catch up with y'all after I finish eating this gourmet chicken meal. I just saw the weirdest thing. I don't know what. So it was about, I actually found my first composition. I hope it holds out till I can set everything up. But I had just finished eating lunch just over that sandbar over there. And I was crossing from this side over here to the other side. And after I noticed what I wanted to take a picture of, I looked down, and it's this log, and I'll show you in a minute, but there was this snake-looking thing that was about a foot long, and it was swimming against the current, like all back and forth by this log. This is the log I'm talking about right there. But it was swimming back and forth, and it would go left, it would go right, and it would go out and come back up the current, and it just finally swam away with the current. It was like a yellowish orange color. It was the weird, I don't know what it was. I'm assuming it was a snake, but I didn't know we had snakes that looked like that color, and that swam under the water. I mean, I know, moccasins will do that, cottonmouth, but that was just the weirdest thing. I didn't know whether to run or look at it or what, because it was like coming towards me, and then it broke off. It kind of swam around this log, and then, let me turn the camera around. This log right here. So it come up and it started swimming towards me, and then it kind of went back and forth on this log, and then it just kind of did this little twirly thing, and then it swam off. The weirdest thing. And I noticed it wasn't just a piece of a leaf or a piece of stick or something, because it like went back and it was swimming. It went all the way around there, and of course out of sight, but just the strangest little thing. It may have been a snake that I had no idea we even had here. I don't know. But it kind of spooked me a little bit, if I'm being honest. So I'm gonna set up this composition. I hope it works. Definitely gonna need my polarizer for it. So problem I'm having is the water is about 8 inches to a foot deep, somewhere in there, right here where I'm standing, and I have nowhere to put this little small tripod to record myself shooting this composition. So what I'm probably going to do, go over to the edge, put my stuff down on the rocks, and then come back with just my tripod and my camera. I don't know. I hope this works. I think it's kind of cool. So let me figure out what I'm going to do with my stuff. I'll put it down. I'll bring you back in just a second. Can y'all hear that hawk? Oh, that's going crazy. I actually think I may see another composition. See, sometimes it may sound crazy, but I've been doing this long enough to realize, and I've also seen other people on YouTube do it, and it makes perfect sense. You just kind of get bogged down with feeling like you have to find compositions quickly, because there's always that fear of not finding anything, and you've gone all the way out, put all this time, money, and effort into making these videos. And if you come away with nothing, while yes, it's still a good time, but I mean, you know, as photographers, you definitely want to photograph something, come away with some cool image. So, but I think after I sat down and I ate my lunch and I relaxed for about 30 minutes, I drank some water, got rehydrated, I feel like it definitely helped, because now I'm just more relaxed, and I'm noticing more things than I did beforehand when I was basically in a panic, like, oh, what can I photograph? Oh, look at that tree. No, that ain't gonna work. Look at these rocks. That ain't gonna work. What is it? What's gonna work? I don't know what to shoot. Yeah, panic mode was setting in quick. So anytime, if you guys that are watching this are photographers, and anytime you're ever stressed like I was, just take a minute and sit down, relax, enjoy the day. You hear the birds chirping. I guess you can hear that. I can. But it's beautiful out here. Just relax, kind of collect your thoughts, and then once you've had a nice little break, keep at it. And maybe you will, maybe you won't find a composition, but it's definitely helped me. So I'm going to, another thing, if you get, these bugs are still here. Anytime you photograph, or anytime you're out taking pictures where there's sand, you've got to be extremely careful, because if that ever gets on your lens, it will scratch your lens. It can get on your sensor. It could get in the mechanical parts of your lens that connects to your camera, and it is a nightmare. You don't want to get it dirty. So I've wiped my hands clean. I've got everything off that I can see, because not only do I have to get this camera out. See, there's sand all over my ball head, but I also, oof, you hear that crunching noise. I also have to switch my polarizer from my long lens, which was on there from my last video, but I have to put it on this lens, because when I'm photographing this scene, I need a polarizer to cut through the glare of the water, so you can actually see what I'm photographing. So this is where it gets kind of sketchy doing all this, especially around sand. Whew. It's always nerve-wracking when you're threading on those filters, because if it falls, man, it could be ugly. Ugly. All right, so that's there. I don't think I'll need this, but I'll pop it on anyway. No, I won't, because I'm going to have to spin that polarizer, and I am not fighting with a lens hood. All right, bag is shut. Everything's good. I'm going to attempt to bring you along with me for this composition. But we'll see, because like I said, I've got to get me a tripod, a tall one, a little light, cheap one for this camera, because all I have is a little bitty Gorilla Pod about this tall. So I'll bring you back when I get set up. So what I've got, and again, I'm not sure if you can see this or not, but I'll explain it, and I may have to get out my phone and actually show you on my camera here what I've got set up. But it's this log that comes across the creek, and the water is flowing over it, and there is these stack of leaves that right in this area, they're just piled up. And what's happened is, over time, the leaves that are coming down the creek, they've just kind of got stuck, hung up right there, and the force of the water is keeping them on that log. And what you have is, I thought it was kind of cool, you have some older brown leaves that were probably from, dead ones from the fall that fell, and they've gotten trapped on this log. And you also have some with like some you've got some leaves with some bluish kind of tint to them. You just got 1, 2, 3, 4, probably about 10 different leaves on there. In the dead center, and I did not place this here, I promise. In the dead center, you've got a green leaf. And it's kind of one of those, it's kind of like, I don't know how to explain this. It's almost like you have all different seasons of leaves stuck on this one log. And smack dab in the middle is a new leaf, spring color leaf. Like I said on the other video, kind of represents new life. And somehow it's fallen into the water. So I'm going to zoom in, bring my phone out, and maybe you can get a closer look at what I'm actually photographing. All right, y'all, so I've taken the shot, but what I realized is you learn something it's crazy how you learn something every time you go out with a camera. So the leaves are right about there. Kind of hard to see, but what I did is I got up close and I zoomed in, and I realized why are they so blurry? As I got closer to the log, I set my tripod up right about there, well, right down there, and I realized it looked a lot more, you couldn't hardly see the leaves. It was like, why? I could see them perfectly fine earlier, and now the water seems a lot more rough, so why am I not able? Anyway, I realized that something as simple as my legs of my tripod was causing a disturbance in the water, and those waves were rippling out, and it was causing the actual, do this without the camera focusing, right here, it was causing the leaves to look kind of blurry and distorted because of the waves, the ripples that were going across over the top of them. So what I had to do was back up, get low to the ground, put my long lens on, and zoom way in. That way I would be able to get back far enough that any ripples that are, disturbance in the water caused by my tripod would have time to kind of smooth out before they got to the subject, which are these leaves. So anyway, I did that. It's not as sharp as I would like it to be because of the water, the way the water's rolling over it. It's very hard, even with a polarizer, it's hard to actually get just what I want. You can see it, with the naked eye is one thing, but when you actually focus in on it and look, it's just not very sharp. But regardless, that's what I photographed. Let me see if I can brighten up a little bit. Maybe you can see. Like I said, it's kind of hard to tell. You'll be able to see when I put it on the screen. I was hoping it was going to look a lot better than it did, but unfortunately, can't have everything perfect the way you want it every time. So I do think it's a nice little picture, because like I said, it represents all the different leaves across there of different seasons and different types of trees. And then smack dab in the middle, you have that green leaf, that actually, since we've been sitting here, the leaf has already moved down some. It's already changed positions. If I'd have come across it maybe an hour from now, it may not be there anymore. It may have been gone. So glad I saw it. Nice little, I'm recording my phone, so I can't even see what I'm recording. But that was a nice little starter image, I guess you call it. So I'm gonna get my gear packed up and put that heavy freaking 60-pound backpack on, and I'm gonna head up over that bank right there and press on, see what else I can find. So hope you like the first image. All right, y'all, for my next little composition, I'm not even going to bring out my tripod for this one. I must be getting closer to the highway up there by the Homachita River, because even though the wind is blowing, I can hear cars, and they're not far from here. God, I'm gonna have to get out my little fuzzy wrap thing and put on my transmitter here, because the wind is blowing so bad. But I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this composition. I'm blocking the wind, if you're wondering what I'm doing with my hand. But what I'm looking at, a little bug in it, what I'm looking at here is you have a layer where I'm on the sand, obviously, and there's a layer of sand, but on top of that sand, I guess from the water getting up to higher levels, it brought in some mud, some kind of sediment, and washed over this sand. And when the water levels went back down, you're left with a layer of mud. I'm just going to call it mud because that's probably what it is. Mud over the top of the sand. And over time, however long it's been, I don't know, the sun has dried that mud out, and the mud is cracked and curled up like this. And I just think it's a cool little abstract pattern. You got some cool little shadows going on there. The sun is kind of directly over our heads, so it'd be nicer if it was down in the sky more, lower in the horizon, but it is what it is. And I'm gonna take a quick picture. I'm not gonna spend too much time on this. I'm just going to put it on, tell you what, I'll put it on F8, ISO 400. I don't have a polarizer on, I've removed that. I tell you what, it's so bright, that's giving me 1/4000th of a second. So I'm going to go on down to ISO 100 at F8, and I'm still getting about 1/1000th of a second, so that's fine. So I'm going to stabilizer on, zoom in, and I'm going to have to do my best to get right over the top of this to make it come out decent. That way you can see all the different patterns. Change to tell you what, I don't need a timer on because it's handheld. I have to do this without getting my shadow in the picture too. So this may or may not be the coolest picture, but you know, it's something different. Definitely some different patterns here. Go ahead and take that shot. So I'll take a few like that, and I'm gonna just take a few like this, kind of close up. Just to kind of give you a different perspective. It's one of those things I never thought I'd be sitting on the ground, zoomed in like this to a subject like this. But you know what? You got to change it up every now and again. Yeah, I think that's kind of cool. So again, if I like either one of those or both, and we'll see, I'll pop those on the screen and let you have a look at it, see what I got. All right, y'all. That's a wrap on this video. I had a good time. I am exhausted. I am badly sunburned. Didn't wear any sunscreen because I didn't think about it. Had a great time. Learned something about a new place today. Definitely will be going back at some point. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up, like it. Yeah. Comment if you have any questions on anything I've done, anything in the video at all. Leave a comment and I will get back to you. And subscribe if you have not already. And I will see y'all on the next one. Take care.